Coach would like to begin the media conference by getting your impressions of the championship game. We'll open it up for the questions from the media. Your opening comment, please.
Well, I broke my green glasses that I paid retail for, so I'm upset about that. Otherwise, I thought we had given it away in the second half a little bit. They made a nice comeback, but we steadied ourselves, and we've done that all season. We probably pulled the ball out too soon, but a lot of games this year when we got up, even though statistically we weren't great free throw shooters, we seemed to know how to make them when it counted. And I promised the girls that I would talk 1/15 as much as I did last time, so I'm going to stop now.
Okay, let's open it up for questions from the media.
Hi, Coach. How do you think you withstood that first run? I think they ran off a 12-2 runner right out of the gate of the second half, and you were able to push it back up to 10. And did that kind of help your girls fend off that second run and finish the game?
I think so. They have two outstanding players, and then number 15 hit a couple of jump shots from the free throw line, and now we're kind of out of sync defensively. We've got three really strong exterior defenders. Mo Adams plays terrific defense, and Slick over here is our designated stealer, and she said she got 0 fouls today. That means she was surprised, which meant she must have grabbed the hell of a little bit. So at that point, I felt great, but we had 2 or 3 possessions in a row where we either took quick shots or they got rebounds, and even if we did score, our press break was disastrous. We weren't getting anybody in the right spot. Normally, I like to, I don't compare myself to Bobby Knight in any way whatsoever, but they said that Bob Knight used to have a truckload of timeouts left at the end of the game. Every game this season, I had timeouts left, and I was out with about 6 minutes to go, primarily because of that time when we weren't getting the ball up, and like I said, we may have taken the air out a little too soon, but we figured it out.
For Julia, yesterday it was, Morgan and Maddie who carried a lot of the scoring load. I think you had 4 points, and, you break out for 23 today, which I think you had once maybe earlier this season. But how did you kind of step up into this moment and, just perform so well offensively?
I think yesterday I was more frustrated personally with myself. I am a very good team player, I would say, but I wanted to focus more on fixing myself for this game, and so I think some anger from yesterday's game with myself really helped me want to push myself to be better today. And I think just the fact it was the state championship, there was something inside me knowing that it's my last game and everything. I just found something in me and it just kept me going and stuff, so, but yeah.
Same kind of question for you, Julia, just how much fun was it to have a big game on such a big stage?
It was really fun. Sometimes it was hard to hear and everything and communicate on the court, but when you're in that arena, it's a good problem to have, honestly. But it was fun. I loved playing with all my best friends on the court, and it was an amazing experience, and I'm so glad that I was able to have it.
I just want to go on record as saying that we listed Julia at 5'7", which is an abject lie. She's a little bit taller than Grace, our point guard, who's 5'4". We announced her at 5'11" every game. She actually started shrinking as the season was on. But that 5'5" kid had 10 rebounds today. And that's the kind of games when Maddie got hurt, I think Julia had a very similar game. She scored 23 and had 14 rebounds. So between Maddie and Julia and Mo, we kind of knew we'd have X amount of points. And basically the rule of thumb for the tournament was we need to hold the other team in the 40s. We can't play teams in the 60s or 70s. I said to one of the media people, if you see an 8 up there on the scoreboard and it's the first number, we're back in Kewaskum. That basically was the key. We played teams that were averaging in the 60s and 70s, and we played them in the 40s. And as much as we worked on shooting, etc., but defensive and rebounding and making clutch free throws was how we won the state.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, Scott Emmerich from the television broadcast. When I spoke to you on Tuesday over the phone, you told me about how tough it was as a 70-year-old old guy to come in and try to teach these girls and try to change things and tweak things a little bit, and had some rough moments early in the year. So my question is for the two ladies, what did he do to sell you on his style and his brand?
Well, we knew that he was our coach, and whether we liked it at the beginning or not, we had to accept that. And I feel like the more and more we spent time with him, practice every day, games, we just got used to him and started to understand what he wanted from us. And we started to give in and, go with what he wanted, and look where it got us.
Yeah, I was going to say, 3 years doing the same concepts. We were doing some of this stuff with our former coach Tull since middle school. And so I think the transition was just really hard, but once we finally clicked and slowly understood more instead of tried getting away from the old stuff, and we finally started accepting the new things, everything just started clicking really well.
And I want to go on record as saying Coach Tull is smarter than me and better looking than me, but he's not as funny as I am. So I just want to put my mark on history there. Mark, that's right, that's what they call me.
Congratulations, guys. A question kind of similar to that. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's 14 in a row for you guys to cap it off with a state championship. Just in terms of this late season run you guys have been on, what really flipped the switch for you guys down the stretch of the year?
As I said before, when we first started working together, it was a little rocky because, like I said, we didn't really understand what he wanted from us exactly, but we finally hit that switch, and I feel like it was more once the second round of conference started. We were playing teams again. We knew what they were like. We were ready to face them again, and we wanted revenge on those couple losses that we had. So we kind of just hit our groove and only went up from there.
Yeah, once we, I feel like our offense was really huge because I feel like that was the most part that was rocky. But once we finally started understanding it and just kind of playing with freedom at the same time, it all started clicking and stuff.
The other thing was that the first game of the season we played, Lakeland, who made it to the state tournament, we beat them, and we were 12 for 25 on threes. One of our players hit 8 for 12. And from that point on, we kept shooting 25 threes a game, and we made less every single game. And it got to the point where we were coming in the locker room, we were 4 for 25, and not playing particularly well against good teams. So by the end of the season, we had restricted. Slick had the green light, and everybody else had a flashing light, depending on whether Maddie's second shot went in or not. We greatly reduced the number. We actually played the exact opposite of the way basketball is played. Everybody else dribble drives, everybody else tries for layups and threes. We basically said we're going to get the ball inside. Rather than take a three, let's pass the ball, make 2 or 3 more passes. We're very comfortable late in games, closing games out. So it was really kind of old school, and not because I'm an old school coach. When I coached in high school previously and then in college, I loved to push the ball. But we weren't gonna outscore teams. We weren't gonna be able to play successfully in the 70s. But I liked our chances a lot if we played the 40s. So the whole thing was, and the biggest part of our offensive success is not one player on my team who cares who scores. And that's huge, especially in a tournament game where they're trying to get the ball to the kid with the hot hand and not thinking about, it's not hero ball. Whenever we tried to do that, we tried to do too much, especially early in the season when Maddie was a Division I recruit and I basically came in and said, I need you to score. I think she felt a lot of pressure. And basically over a period of time, what happened was we just needed her to be Maddie Dogs. We needed her to step up, Julie to step up, and Morgan Adams, who's not here, but Morgan Adams changed herself. She was not an offensive player last year. She threw that, she developed that little jump hook, and we were not a great free throw shooting team. We'd be the worst free throw shooting team in the history of the WIAA, but we know who to get the ball to, especially today. Julia, and especially Mo at the end of the game, we're going to get, even though it's weird to get your post player at the ball, we got her the ball, and we get it the last X number of weeks of the season, and so there were some things we went into the game with knowing we were going to play good defense, probably going to rebound, take okay care of the ball, and it all worked.
Time for one more question.
Sure.
this is for both girls. I'm sure from the dog pile in the middle of the court to like raising the trophy, that's a moment you've imagined 100 times. How did it live up to it?
It was amazing.
It was so fun.
Our whole team was joking about doing the pile, like the whole weekend. After our first game, one of our teammates actually like threw us all on the floor and expected us to jump on her. But to be able to celebrate with my team and my best friends like that is just so special. And it was way better than I ever could have imagined.
It was fun. I mean, the first person I saw on the floor was Maddie, and it was just so fun. Everyone had big smiles and was giggling. It was just how you could picture it, like in a movie. It was great.
And one thing I told everyone before the game was just, we know it's our last game. We just have to go out there and have fun. And I feel like that's exactly what we did, and that's what means the most. Is it was so much fun.
That's all the time we have. Thank you for coming.
Thank you,
in.
guys.
Congratulations.
Julie's gonna have her own talk show.
Everybody on it. No, I was gonna say, dang it, I was so ready. I was gonna say, what's your offense like?
Girls, can I get you just for 1 second? We're still broadcasting live. And just a little bit about the thanks to the community and everybody who showed up for the support.
Yeah, as we were standing in our little huddle before the game, we were looking up, people were waving at us, taking pictures, people from all over that, students that we were in high school with the previous years were there, our teachers were there, old coaches.
Old teachers.
It felt like our whole town
It
was
was
there behind
amazing.
us.
Yeah, I mean, we were getting interviewed before, and Matt and I were walking back, and we kind of just stopped for a moment. I mean, really soaked it in and appreciated how big our community has been in this journey, and we really want to thank them. We have the best fans ever.
It means the world to us.
Perfect. Thank you. Congratulations. You've been watching a live broadcast. Thanks, Mark. The WIAA D3 Championship, Kewaskum over Milwaukee Academy of Science, 55-51 here at the Resch Center. This live broadcast is brought to you by American Commercial Real Estate.